Taming Turnover, creating a positive work environment to increase retention. Thank you so much for your time today. We look forward to working with your company to meet your business needs and improve your productivity and efficiency. Today, we want to educate you on a problem I am sure you are aware of called turnover. In companies, employees are the most important asset. Highly motivated and satisfied employees can dramatically increase productivity. On the flip side, unmotivated and unsatisfied employees can not only affect productivity, they can also lead to voluntary turnover, which can send your company scrambling to fill the job. Surprisingly, many companies do not have a plan in place to prevent turnover. Today, we will explain the cost of turnover, some of the factors that affect turnover, and how to prevent it. How much does turnover really cost? Turnover is very costly for companies and often carries little known costs that have high dollar amounts. One of the reasons for this is that companies do not have a method in place for quantifying turnover costs. Another reason for this is that employees are what is often called appreciating assets. In other words, the longer they are at your company, the more valuable they are due to ongoing training and experience. The Society for Human Resource Management estimates that turnover costs companies between 100 to 300% of the base salary of an employee. That means that an employee making a base salary of $40,000 per year costs a company $40,000 to $120,000 to replace. That number is also affected by how highly skilled the worker is, how long they have been with the company, and what position they hold in the company. In 2016, the turnover rate across all industries was 17.8%. In the following slides, we will discuss options for your company to reduce your turnover rate and lower your costs. Why job satisfaction is important for a positive workplace. Employees spend 90,000 hours of their lifetime working for different organizations. Job satisfaction will play a major role in which jobs employees will commit to and which ones they will leave within a year. So you may ask, how can our organization increase our workers' satisfaction so that we can retain employees longer, decreasing our turnover? The answer is through increasing organizational commitment and upholding the psychological contract. Why do you want fulfilled psychological contracts? When an employee's organizational commitment changes, job satisfaction becomes a mediator variable generating turnover intention. Let my team and I help you combat this problem by studying your organization's demographic characteristics and work environment factors of job satisfaction, flexibility, autonomy, and justice in the workplace. The psychological contract is important because it will have a direct effect on your organization's turnover rate. Let us help your organization by ensuring that reasonable psychological demands of your employees are being fulfilled. We will study employee behaviors and emotions, ensuring that there is a reciprocal relationship amongst workers, supervisors, and managers. I am confident that we will be able to strengthen the psychological contract, restore organizational commitment, and decrease turnover intentions for your organization. How can we recognize issues with work environments? Research has shown a positive correlation between perceived organizational support and higher levels of job satisfaction. Employees who express high levels of job satisfaction also express lower levels of turnover intention. This builds on social exchange theory, which states that when members feel as if the organization cares about them as an individual, they feel compelled to reciprocate the goodwill and care about the organization. Organizational support. There are several strategies companies can use to increase the perceived organizational support to their employees. Demonstrating that the organization cares about an individual's well-being and gives consideration to their opinions can help increase perceived organizational support, or POS. Acknowledging an individual's good work and expressing pride in their work accomplishments will also help increase POS. Providing employees with recognition and rewards for a job well done positively reinforces the idea that company cares about the employee and appreciates their efforts in the workplace. Showing support for an individual's goals and values helps them feel supported by the organization. This can also be accomplished by offering scholarship and tuition reimbursement programs to employees seeking to further their education and the children of employees heading off to college. Providing help to employees having personal problems helps them to feel supported by the organization and will decrease any turnover intention they are considering. Many companies provide counseling services free of charge for a limited time to employees to help them deal with personal crises. Finally, the organization should be willing to extend their own efforts in order to help members be successful in their job performance. Companies can accomplish this by offering training programs to their employees to keep their skills up to date and competitive with newcomers to the organization. Organizations can also offer leadership training to promising members to help them advance their careers within the organization if they so choose. Job satisfaction is linked to the organizational citizenship behaviors called OCBs discussed next. OCB engagement. Citizenship performance is defined as behaviors that go beyond task performance and technical proficiency, instead supporting the organizational, social, and psychological context that serves as the critical catalyst for tasks to be accomplished. Employees will engage in extra work, otherwise known as organizational citizenship behaviors, when they feel like their organization is supporting them fully. When employees feel supported and happy about going to work, they will go above and beyond their minimal job duties. These discretionary behaviors go beyond what is enforceable, but contribute to overall organizational effectiveness. How does a positive work environment contribute to an employee's decision to participate in organizational citizenship behaviors? In a study by Rigo, Ribeiro, and Cunha, they evaluate the role of organizational virtuousness and employee effective well-being on employees' engagement in organizational citizenship behaviors. As we know, organizational citizenship behaviors are indicative of employees performing better at work. What Rigo, Ribeiro, and Cunha found is that organizations that were more virtuous and that supported more effective well-being in their employees had their employees engage in organizational citizenship behaviors more. By creating a positive or virtuous work environment, therefore creating an environment that fosters effective well-being, organizations will create a cyclical effect. Once employees are established and engaged in organizational citizenship behaviors, they will further facilitate positive work environment. When employees perceive that their organization acts in a virtuous way, they form positive images about it and increase their organizational identification. Employees then feel proud to identify with their organization, develop their self-esteem, form effective bonds with their company, experience more positive emotions, and adopt behaviors that sustain and reinforce such reputation. Employees develop and pursue organizational citizenship behaviors when their work environment is positive and aligns with their personal values. This lowers employees' inclinations to want to seek employment elsewhere and creates more organizational commitment. Satisfaction can be increased through flexibility, autonomy, and workplace justice, discussed next. Can you be flexible? Not all organizations have the capabilities to be flexible, but if this is something that your company can accommodate, it would greatly reduce turnover intentions. Flexible work arrangements have been positively correlated with job satisfaction. Research shows that flexible work weeks give employees the perceived notion that they have more control over family matters and work, which in turn lowers work-related and family-related conflict. The availability of flex time and compressed work weeks gives employees the organizational support that they seek within an organization, which increases positive attitudes. Higher job satisfaction was reported among workers who experienced greater work-to-family enrichment. If hired, my team and I will work to implement flexible work schedules where permitted to increase overall job satisfaction, which will reduce turnovers for your company. Enable your employees. Autonomy is a core job dimension defined by Hackman and Odom as the degree to which the job provides substantial freedom, independence, and discretion to the employee in scheduling the work and in determining the procedures to be used in carrying it out. Autonomy leads to greater job satisfaction, better performance, increased motivation, reduced absenteeism, and lower turnover intentions. Deci, Oliphant, and Ryan note that both satisfaction and frustration in the workplace are in part predicted by the psychological need of autonomy. Furthermore, Chung Yang notes, low autonomy is associated with negative physical and psychological symptoms and reduced satisfaction in the workplace. Fraud and Ferris note several factors that increase one's job satisfaction, motivation, and performance. Their meta-analysis of 18 studies shows that autonomy is most strongly related to growth satisfaction, and that it strongly reduces absenteeism. Deci found that autonomy increased company profitability, possibly due to less burnout, work exhaustion, and turnover, as well as greater work satisfaction, work commitment, and performance exhibited by employees when autonomy is high. Deci also noted that the greater a manager allowed for autonomy, the greater the satisfaction and stronger the loyalty to the organization of the employee. Managers can increase autonomy through offering choices, listening to their employees, allowing group decision-making, and providing positive feedback. Types of justice. We have discussed how job satisfaction, organizational support, and flexibility all contribute to lower turnover intentions. Another way your company can increase an employee's experience at work and lower their chances of leaving is to increase the perception of fairness or justice in the office. There are 3 forms of justice we would like to bring to your attention. The first is distributive justice. This type of justice refers to the perception of fairness in decision-making. In other words, do your employees perceive that they are receiving the same things that their coworkers are receiving? As a company, you can ensure distributive justice by paying close attention to your compensation packages. Are employees at the same level with the number of years of experience receiving the same pay? If not, they may not feel that you are treating them fairly with distributive justice. Another form of justice is procedural justice, the perception of how fair a procedure is. When a promotion is available, does your company have a plan and policy in place to ensure fairness in selecting the employee who gets the job? By having a procedure in place for promotion, not only do you ensure procedural justice, but you protect yourself against legal action due to unfair treatment of employees. Interactional justice refers to how employees feel they are being treated during the implementation of a decision. Say your company is reorganizing from an individual work model to work teams. How do you go about implementing this decision? Are employees given information at every stage of this transition? Are they allowed to have a say-so in the teams they will be a part of? Do they feel as if this change is something that is happening to them or something that they are a part of? Employees want to feel that they are an important part of the organization, and by treating them with respect and care during times of change, they will experience interactional justice. Correlations have been found between justice and a range of outcomes, including turnover intention. Employees who feel supported by their organization will feel that it is not in their best interest to change employers. The higher an employee's job satisfaction level, the more they believe they were experiencing organizational justice and the less likely they are to quit. How to create greater job satisfaction, increase OCBs, and reduce turnover. In closing, we suggest your company create greater job satisfaction, increase organizational citizenship behaviors, and reduce turnover and its associated costs by supporting the employee and their psychological needs, starting with flexibility in their work arrangements, increasing autonomy by offering choices, listening to their desires, allowing group decision-making, and providing positive feedback, and by ensuring distributive, procedural, and interactional justice are carried out. This can be done through fair treatment of all employees, fair promotion and policy making, and ultimately by incorporating employees' advice and opinions when appropriate. Thank you for your time.